I want to thank you for taking the time to be here today, be a part of this podcast. I've known you for, I won't say, but it's been a long time.
Long time.
And ever since I've known you, well, actually, I came over to your house when I came then, and I didn't know what you did, but I knew your husband at the time, and he still is, he's a musician. He was
playing bass.
He still does.
And
he sings too.
Yes.
But you sang better than he did. And you still
I won't say that. I won't say that.
So, Paula, tell me, where were you born?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a country gal.
Country gal. How many siblings do you have? How many children in your family?
Okay, well, Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Really? Are you still close with your father?
Well, my father passed away, but well, you know, my mom had 4, but
your mom had 4 by him.
Yes.
Okay, so those are the people that the same mother and father. There's 4 of you, and where do you rank in there? Are you the first, second, third?
I'm the second, but I'm close to my other brothers and sisters too. I was close by my father.
By your father. Your mother didn't have any more kids outside the 4?
No.
She just had the 4 by him. So he had kids before you guys?
Some.
Some, okay.
Yes.
And you're close with them?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's some of them that have gone on, that passed on, but we grew up knowing who
his other kids were?
Yeah, we did.
And they were your half brother and sisters?
Yes.
But tell me this, okay, so above you is what, a girl or a boy?
A girl, my sister Pamela.
Sister, how many years difference between Pamela?
2.5.
And then below you?
My brother is 5, and then my baby sister, she's 12 years younger than me.
12 years younger.
So I took care. I was gonna say, I babysat, changed diapers, took care of her and everything. Yeah.
So they're doing okay?
They're doing great.
And your mother? How's she doing?
She's doing wonderful. Oh, she just turned 86.
86. She's up there with my mother.
Just turned 86.
And she's still in Nashville?
She's still in Nashville.
What about your brothers and sisters?
They're still in Nashville. Well, and then I have a sister that's in Detroit. But everybody else is in Nashville. Yeah.
Now, you told me your father sang.
Yes.
Was your mother a musician as well?
My mother sang in the choir.
Okay.
And but she met my father while he was singing. Okay. So when she met him, he was already on the circuit.
What kind of music did he sing?
When he started out, he was singing gospel music, and he was singing with the singing with the Fairfield 4, which my uncle sings with that group now. They're Grammy award-winning group. Gospel Fairfield 4.
Okay.
And so my father was singing with them, and the VJ label saw him, and they wanted to record him. So he started singing, and
you just told me recently your mother's still getting royalties from a song your father sang for
Under Armour.
Under Armour, because I was wearing their mask, and you said, "Yeah, my father just did a song for them," and your mother's still receiving royalties for it.
You can make it if you try. That was number 3 on the Billboard. I want to say it had to be in the 50s.
And that's your father?
It's my father, Gene Allison.
Gene Allison. Wow.
Your mother would probably know of him.
Yeah, she probably would. Yeah.
Wow. He was on the circuit with Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson, James Brown, B.B. King. All these people. They knew him well. Yeah.
So so tell me this. So growing up in Nashville, because I went there only once. I went there, and I thought it was really beautiful. It's really nice. The bluegrass. Kentucky's right next to it, so you have the bluegrass and everything, and the horses. It was just beautiful there. What was it like growing up there for you? What do you remember the most?
When I was a little girl, I loved going to the park concerts. My mom would take us to the park concerts, and just all the parks. They were so beautiful.
But this wasn't just gospel music. This was
this was all kinds of music.
Yeah, rhythm and blues, the whole thing.
Yeah, but my mom sung in the choir. That's how she started us out. We went with her to choir rehearsal.
All of you sang?
My older sister,
Okay.
baby sister, she doesn't sing,
Okay.
you know.
But she can if she wants to.
Yeah, she can carry a tune.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So, but my older sister, she went to Fisk, so she sung with the Fisk Black Mass Choir, and I did Fisk Upward Bound because
Okay.
I didn't attend Fisk. But anyway, we always sang since we were little girls.
Your brother didn't?
No, he sings a little bit now, but yeah, he wasn't singing in the choir with us. We sung. Mama put us in the choir with her. We were the only two little ones in the choir. Me and my sister.
Is that right? Everybody else
was adults. And then for
and
some
what
years,
age was that? What age was that when you were?
I was 5.
5 years old. So you remember that time?
I remember
vividly.
that. I remember that.
And
I was the only 5. I was 5 years old. So.
And your sister was what, 7, 2 years older than you were?
Yeah, she was 2 years old. Older, 2 and a half.
2 and a half. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
7 and a half. So we would learn. We'd go to the rehearsals and learn everything. And
you don't have any pictures of stuff at that time, do you?
Oh yeah, I do.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then why don't you give me one so I can flash that up for people that are watching the video part of that. Well, I like to, when you're 5 years old, I like to see. I can just see you right now. And you're little Sunday go to meet and dress.
Well, there's one of me and my sister and my brother, and I was about 5. She was.
But are you singing? Does it show you singing when you guys are up there singing?
No. The only one I have of dealing with music probably back in the day was when I won the WVOL Parade of Talent at the War Memorial Auditorium. I was 12, and we won a plaque, and I'm holding the plaque with the other 2 girls. I sang.
And you still have that?
I have that picture, and the guys went on to play with people like Peabo Bryson, Ozone, the group Ozone. Remember Ozone?
Yes,
back
I
in the
Ozone, yes.
Billy White was the drummer and singer. So yeah, I worked with a lot of cats out of Nashville that went on to become famous.
So give me that picture. We can have that picture. I want to put that up. I want to put that up too. I want to see that. The picture. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. So how old were you when you left? I mean, how old were you when you left? You can say this when you left Nashville, maybe. Or did you? When
I left Nashville, I want to say.
Well, you don't have to say age. Why don't you say this? You were an adult when you left.
Mm-hmm. Young adult.
Oh, young adult. You're a young adult.
Very young.
Young adult. Okay, when you left. It was your first time leaving.
First time leaving. I cried like a baby
Where'd you go?
First time I got on the plane to come to Japan.
Wait, you were already married then?
Yeah, got married young.
So wait, so you guys got married in Nashville?
Got married in Tennessee. It wasn't Nashville, but to get on, that was my first plane ride to fly to Japan, and I cried because I was terrified of flying. Yeah.
Because you'd never done it before.
They had to give me alcohol.
They did.
They said, okay, we got to give her something.
Because she's going nuts. She's going to tear out the whole plane out, right?
Yeah.
And all right, so when you flew to Japan, you came what, to Yokota?
Straight to Yokota. I didn't know anything about Narita. Never heard of a Narita.
Didn't anything like that.
Didn't know it existed.
Right.
Flew right into Yokota Air Force Base.
Right.
Yeah. Flew to. Let me see. I flew to Texas. From Texas to California, from California straight into Yokota.
Into Yokota. Probably a C-135, something like that. Yeah, no, okay. Were you sitting backwards? Were you sitting backwards on the plane?
No, it was.
Oh, it was a regular commercial airline.
It was a.
Brandon?
The only airline I knew, and this is really, really sad. It's bad, but I only really knew about Northwest.
Okay, so Northwest came in.
They were the one who was flying us back and forth. And so when they told me, they said, "Well, this time you're going to be, we're sending you back to the States on through Narita." I said, "What is that?"
You didn't even know.
Didn't even know what Narita was. All my flights, my hops, everything was directly out of the base.
Out of the base, right.
Going to Korea, going to Chicago, going back, wherever I went.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Never flew to Narita until, I want to say the first time I went to Narita was maybe, had to be 97 maybe.
Okay, it was the first time.
First time?
That was Narita.
Narita,
yeah. Because when I came in, like you, I came into the Air Force Base. I landed in Yokota. But I had orders for Tachikawa. So I got a whole month free to travel around Japan while they cut my new orders.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
That is
really
awesome.
fun. That was really fun.
That's
So I got to see
awesome.
Japan, but I didn't know what I was looking at. It was just interesting. It was just interesting. I went to places and it was really fun. So anyway, how long were you stay? How long were you here in the service? You were never in the service, but I mean, how long were you with your husband here in the service?
Well, I came twice.
Okay.
I came in 1980,
Okay.
left in 81,
76. Yeah, I got yeah.
left in 81,
Okay.
okay, and came back in 83,
Okay.
left in 88,
Okay.
came back in 92. So I was
Wow.
back and
Back
forth,
and
going,
forth.
going to the different bases and coming
Wow.
here and meeting people and
Mhm.
doing music and everything. I mean,
Right.
you see how much I love Japan because I kept coming back in
That's
and
right.
out, coming
Right.
back and forth.
Do
So.
you ever see yourself leaving Japan? Do you ever think that you'll leave?
Well, I'm sure at some point I would have to, but I would love to be able to just come in and out. You know,
Mhm.
I would love to be able
Mhm.
to do that. So, you know, I just don't know, but I love Japan. I
Mhm.
really do.
Right.
Not to say I don't love the USA, but Japan has been very good to me.
Mhm.
Very good to
How
me.
many children do you have?
I have
Or do you
two
say that? You
girls
say that?
and
Okay.
one boy.
2 girls and 1 boy.
Mhm.
I don't know your son. I know one. Wait. Hmm. I know. Okay, I think I know. I don't know
You
your
do.
kids. I do?
The oldest girl,
Okay.
she's in the States, and my son is in the States. But okay, you met Nikki. Of
Right.
course,
Right.
you know
Yeah, I know
Nikki.
Nikki. Yeah. Right.
So they went back to when did I took them back to the States for good. I want to say 2001.
2001.
So yeah,
And they're still there.
hmm
Where?
in
Nashville?
Nashville, out in Antioch, close to the
Right.
airport,
They have
Nashville.
kids? Are they married? Or
My oldest girl, she has 3. She
Okay.
has 2 boys and a girl, and
Wow.
my son has a boy and a girl.
Okay. Wow. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Have they been back since they've left? Have they been back yet to see you?
Only Nikki.
Only Nikki's come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Wow. So tell me what your days are comprised of. When you were really, really busy singing, what did you do? And how did you get involved in doing that here in Japan? How did that happen?
Well, what I did was I was at home one day, you know, still trying to get used to the Japanese life, and I made a tape of me singing Denise Williams "Free,"
Okay.
and I gave it to hubby. He let Jerry Eddy,
Jerry Eddie, yeah, who's
Jerry,
still here.
who's still here,
Still here with us.
Jerry Eddy.
Because we were in the service together.
You guys were
Same
in the service
squadron.
together.
That's when you started playing drums and driving us
Mhm.
nuts.
Yeah, well, he listened to the tape and he said, "You want to sing in my band?" He let me sing in his band. I was like, professionally, you know, and I was like, wow. So that's how I started with Jerry Eddy.
Okay.
He was pretty strict too,
Yeah, I can
but
imagine.
he taught me a lot singing in his band. I that prepared me for what was to come after that. So
how did it progress from there? So how long did you stay with Jerry Eddy?
for Jerry, let me see, about 14 months.
Okay.
Went back to the States.
Okay.
And let me see, how long was I in the States? Let me see, I left in, I want to say 81, and I came back in 83.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So when I came back, I said, I want to get back into music again.
Okay.
So I started calling up
So you didn't do
people.
anything in the States?
In the States, what I would do would participate in the talent shows at all the bases. I was on the Black Heritage Committee. I would judge talent shows, and I still stuck with music.
Okay.
And me and hubby, we had a band.
Okay.
We did. So yeah, we kept that
You kept
music
it
going.
going. Yeah.
Kept it going. Yeah, we definitely kept the music going,
All
and
right.
it was because that's what we enjoyed doing. Because once we got back, we started our own band over here. Opened
Okay.
up for Atlantic Star.
How many people did you have on your band? In your band?
We
You and
had
your
2
hubby?
females up front.
Okay.
My husband was on bass. We had guitar, and we had keys, and we had percussions and drums.
So 9 people, 8 or 9 people, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, we
So
kept that going.
How long did you have that going? How long did you have your band?
It was called the Ultimate Band, and we played at the NCO Club at Yokota. We were pretty popular, and worked for Philip Bailey's sister,
Okay.
Edlene Bailey. She used to hire us for all kinds of stuff. When the Tops and Blues would come, our band would be the house band and play for all the contestants and stuff. I got to judge a lot of the contests when they would have talent shows at rec centers and stuff. I mean, it was amazing, all the different things we got a chance to do and the people that we got a chance to meet and open up for. And that just kept me busy doing that. And I also started teaching, doing vocal coaching.
Okay.
I started that. I still do that. Okay. To this day, I work with kids and I work with teenagers and adults.
All right. Okay.
So I'm still doing
if people want to contact you to do that, how would they do so? Can I leave? Do you have I can leave that in the description of this podcast. I can leave any information.
Yeah,
you're going to have that. Yeah.
So they can. Yeah, most of the people, they email me or they go by word of mouth. Some people text me, but emails and I've done it through other companies because I freelance.
Okay.
So I work for various companies. They call me, like they'll say, "We have a tour for you. Can you do this tour?" So doing the different tours, doing studio commercials, all the Kosei commercial. I remember the first big commercial I did was KDD with Toshiyuki Nishida.
Okay.
That was one of my first big ones that I did. But doing a lot of commercials here, anime, doing vocals for that. Just this past Wednesday, I did a studio session, and last Sunday, did one for Netflix. So doing a lot of studio. I love studio and teaching. I guess anime. So they say, okay, we got a song, and we want you to do chorus on it. So
now, one more thing too. How long do you guys have your band? You and your husband?
Oh, wow. Every base we went to, we've always had a band.
No, I said, how long did you have it? Do you know the time?
The first band we were in together was, I want to say 1980. And so we've always had bands going on. The last band we had to be, I want to say, maybe band-wise, maybe 90.
So over 10 years. So you've had a band.
Ooh, long time.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then we started our own gospel group called True Spirit.
Do you still have it?
Still have gospel. Still
Is
have
it really?
True Spirit. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Doing the Blue Notes and just traveling everywhere, singing. And
What do you enjoy most about what you do, your profession? I know that may seem like a silly question.
I love producing shows.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because just to see people enjoy the show and pulling them in, making them a part of the show, I love that. It gives me such a good feeling to produce shows and to listen to vocalists and hear them singing a song. I'll say, wow, this person would sound so wonderful singing this song. So I have a good ear. Yeah. I have an ear for putting shows together. That's my favorite thing. Gospel shows, whether it's an R&B, regardless, I recognize excellence and talent, and I love that.
That's what you like the most.
I love it. I love singing and organizing and producing.
Okay. The time that Michael Jackson came, you were on stage. Did you produce all of that?
No. Okay. I was asked.
Okay.
The people, let me see, I want to say Broderick Morris was in charge. David King and Melody Sexton, they called me in on that. Okay. And I was honored.
Why not?
To be a part of that. Yeah.
He sat right up there in front, watched you guys do your thing.
Yes, he did. And when he walked on stage, he shook. I got to shake his hand. It's on film.
Right.
It's on video. Yeah, I was like, oh. And then I got a chance to talk to him.
That's right.
And I gave him a picture of me with his sister. I stayed at his sister's house in California.
Janet?
I did, no, Rebe.
Rebe,
She's the oldest one.
Okay, right.
Michael told me, he said, did you know she helped raise us? And I was like, yeah, because I watched the movie. I'm a Jackson 5 fan. So I got a chance to talk with him at the show that night and talk with his manager at the time. And I gave him a picture of me with Rebe doing, because I flew to California with Robbie. Remember Robbie Danzy?
I remember that, yeah.
Flew there, stayed at her house. We did the rehearsals, flew back over here and did the shows, did the Blue Notes, did the backup for it. That's on video too as well.
Wow.
To all of this,
Yeah. I got a chance to meet him that night too.
Oh,
I was happy. That was so nice. I stood beside him,
so
took a picture.
Happy that
arm around his waist. The guy was lean and mean, no joke.
Yes.
And he's
yes.
taller than I expected him to be.
What is it, about 5'11"?
About 5'11", exactly, because I'm 6 feet, and he was just a little bit shorter than that.
Yeah.
We sit together, and he congratulated. It was just a surreal moment to have his presence there. And then we lasted a year. The next year he was gone.
I know, because
I expected to really get to know him the next time he came.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I got a chance to go stay at the hotel where they were staying.
That's right. There's the Four Seasons.
Yeah,
right.
Four Seasons.
Four Seasons, sure.
Basically, I was with, what is her name?
The woman that had the blondish hair.
Yes.
That could speak Swedish or something.
Yes.
I met her.
Sister Magazine.
Yes, she was something.
I stayed with her.
Okay.
I stayed with her. And wow, she's such a sweetheart.
She is. Have you talked to her since?
No, the last time. Let me see.
Because she's the kind of person that's just out there.
She's so sweet.
Yeah,
she's such a sweet person.
Yeah.
She, as a matter of fact, she put us. We were opening up Motown.
Okay.
In Yokohama.
Right. And
she did an interview, and she gave a shout out and put me in the magazine.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, she did.
That's beautiful.
Jamie Foster Brown.
Jamie Foster Brown. She was something.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart. Wow. So, yeah, we've done Soul Train, Motown, everything you can think of here. Remember Soul Train opened up in Hamamatsu-cho.
And then, matter of fact, and that was, and then Don Cornelius came here and told him, can't use the name.
And had to go to Soul Star.
Soul Star. They sure did in Odaiba.
Yes.
They sure did.
Yes.
That lasted for a quick minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but we did that. I was at the grand opening for that, grand opening for the Motown, all of that. So, oh man, I've had just an amazing career in the music business here in Japan.
So what are some of the things you think, because of you being in the music business here, that you've had access to, that you think, wow, I'm so glad I'm involved in this? Some of the people you might have met, or some of the things that have happened to you because of what you've done in Japan that you think may not have happened had you been somewhere else?
I don't think it would have. The opportunities that have been extended to me because of being here in Japan is just amazing.
Why?
And, here in Japan, they're always looking for foreigners to do the backup. And my background is gospel. I have a strong background for gospel music, and a lot of times they request gospel singers because gospel music, it's a really strong feeling, and I've even had people at a show I've done, True Spirit, we perform, and they say, thank you so much. Come up to me, lady came up to me with her husband's picture, said, thank you so much for singing Amazing Grace. My husband passed away, and I wanted to hear that song. So that being able to bring some type of comfort and joy to people who are just want to come and listen to you sing, listen to you tell your story through music, or be a minister of music and talk about telling stories, whether it's about love or if it's about the Bible, whatever stories you're telling. People love to hear the stories through music, and it's universal. Mm-hmm. Music is universal.
So you think it's because being in Japan and they don't have access to it, it's giving you a lot of opportunities?
Giving me a lot of opportunities. Being in the States, I have done recordings and different things, but not the opportunities that I've had here.
Because there's so many in the States.
It's so many in the States.
Much competition.
Oh, yes. So much competition. And here, I've been able to just share my gifts. And, somebody say, oh, I need vocal coaching. I'm getting ready to go to the States to do a CD. My pronunciation needs work. Can you coach me?
The Japanese, okay.
Yeah. Right. So I get a lot of Japanese clients as far as students that want to learn different things, whether it's how to enunciate, pronunciate, to harmonize. I have a really good ear for harmonies. I can organize and put harmonies together, doing like a company Mixie. I did something for this company called Mixie where they wanted, I guess it was for a game. And so I had to actually arrange it. They had the music and they told me what they wanted. So I put it together, and then I was able to call 5 other singers.
Okay.
And so I produced it, and I also sang.
You know how to work on the mixer? Oh,
No. When I say produce, I'm like the one that organizes it, writes. I've even written for HY. I'll get in there and I'll listen to what you've done, and then I'll say, hey, I can write this bridge. I'll write the bridge to the song.
Okay.
And I'll write the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
If you write the lyrics,
Right.
you know,
right.
kind of, you know, we
so you can bring it together. You're the glue that brings everything else together.
Yeah, and they'll say, we need singers. Who can do this? Who can do that? Or somebody will give me a song and say, who can sing this song?
Mm-hmm.
And I can actually hear the person singing it. And then when I bring that person to them, they like, wow, this was awesome. And also, you know, like I've done like Kosei commercials. My commercials will be playing in the like Don Quixote or in the cosmetic sections of different places. And I'm like, wow. And they were like, wow, we didn't even know that was you.
Name some of the jobs that you've done here in Japan that you really felt like, I mean, you just wish, Mama, if you could see me, if you could just be here and watch this right now, or Dad, or whatever. What have you done that's really thought you?
Well, I mean, I was in heaven when I did that VIP party for Michael Jackson. That was
was it. Well, see, actually, the truth is,
you
don't feel like you don't need anything after that. you know.
But I enjoyed
just touching him. When he spoke to me, I thought, I'm good. All right, if I die tomorrow, I'm good because I always wanted to meet him.
I wanted to meet him,
and and he thanked me. I'm good.
All the jobs, they've all been special. Because they always connect me with special people too. The people that I worked with, like some people I would meet, and I'm kind of a little embarrassed to say, but sometimes I would meet people and not know who they were.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I would feel bad, you know, because I didn't know. Rodney Franklin, he was a Grammy Award winner. I didn't know who he was when
But he probably liked that too because you didn't have any, you didn't have any expectations from him or anything. You weren't noticed.
I didn't know
like another brother.
But Paul Jackson, God rest his soul.
Oh yeah, he just passed.
Yeah. I used to sing with him. We were like the God Shining Light singers. So when I'm, working with Free Wave, and I still work with Free Wave to this very day, Paul, we were getting ready to do the grand opening for the Ariake Mall.
Okay.
Well, Rodney Franklin was the keyboardist. Paul was playing bass, and then James Levi from that played with the Four Tops was the drummer. So it took me these jobs. I always meet special people, and then Rodney told me, he says, "Wow, you guys, we came to the rehearsal. We knew our part. We was tight. So he said, you guys can leave. We got to do our, we got to get our stuff together." And then he, after we did the show and it was a success, he said, "I'll be back. I'm coming with Stevie." And then me, like a dummy, I said, "Stevie who?"
Even Stevie Wonder.
I should have known that, right? I said, "Oh, Stevie who?"
But they're so non-assuming. Like Paul, they're so regular and stuff.
Yeah,
Paul
down
Jackson,
to earth.
all the people they've been with and all the stuff they've done.
Earth.
And then when you hear them play, you say, that's coming from that because these guys are so good.
And down to earth. And
yes.
So Rodney came back and he called. And when he called, he said, "This is Rodney." I said, "Rodney who?" He said, "Rodney Franklin." I was so embarrassed. I said, "Oh my God." He said, "I'm back here with Stevie." He said, "I told you I was coming back." He said, "Look, I got some tickets." He gave me 11 tickets.
To go see Stevie.
Gave me 11 tickets. I got to go to the show, go to the sound. I rode on the bus.
With him, yeah.
Went to the sound check while Stevie was doing sound check. Got to sit. I was like, oh my God. He was sound checking and singing other people's songs and everything. And man, I met some amazing people. I got to meet. That's when I first met Keith John, his backup singer. And wow. And then Stevie came to the base and gave us a show. I had already bought my ticket for that show, so I got to see him twice. I had 11 tickets. I gave those to my close friends, and man, it was awesome. Did
you get any pictures with Stevie?
Definitely.
You got a whole bunch of them.
I got some. I couldn't hog up all the time because there was a line of people. Right. But when he came back a second time, I went back to stage too.
You got pictures with Michael Jackson too, then, didn't you?
Well, it was a group. I was too scared. Everybody was trying to get to him, and I was like, but before he got out of there, I stopped him and gave him a picture of me and Riri. And I told him that I stayed at her house. So we did talk, but I'm in the picture, but it's so many, it's a bunch of us. But you can see me When he walks through the door, he shook one of the other girls' hand first. Then he shook my hand. You can see it's on video. Yeah, you can see me shaking his hand. So I was so happy.
Oh, that's
so
beautiful.
happy. So I've gotten a chance to meet people that I just don't think I would have otherwise. I would not have gotten a chance to work with or meet. And all the ones that I have met, they were so down to earth. All the famous people that I've met and done backup for. Even doing Ageha. I was, I'm always asked to do other people's shows. And then, what we do here is we look out for one another. And I'll call people to do shows that I'm in charge of. They'll call me to do shows that they're in charge of.
I get you.
And that's how people see us. And then, like we did Ageha, it was like a lot of people was on that bill. Like CeCe Peniston was on there. It was a whole lot of people, a lot of famous people. We had to learn a lot of different songs, and we would back them. I love chorus. That's my favorite.
Chorus.
Because the harmonies, they're beautiful.
Yes.
Harmonies are beautiful. I love harmonies. I mean, I love to do my lead. I do my lead, but man, it's harmonies. I love it. I love it. And when I do shows, I love to pull the audience into the show. Let them sing too. I like to give them parts to sing. And then sometimes that's how I've gotten some teaching jobs, coaching jobs. They say, hey, can you coach me? I've got a show coming up and I need work. And that's what I'm doing now.
Okay, I was going to bring it up to that point. What are you doing now? What are you
I'm coaching and teaching. I'm working with kids and I'm working with young people that are just getting into the music business that just got record deals.
Okay.
And so, they want to get different techniques with their singing. Some of them have a problem with singing nasal and they don't want to sing nasal.
I understand that.
And some of them, they say, well, my Japanese songs are okay, but I want to sing English songs. So maybe I can become international. Maybe, I could go sing in the States.
Right. You say, good luck on that.
No, you know what? Some of them can. Like, now I work with I is definitely, she can be internet. I love her voice. And I worked with her when she first came out. So I called me on stage and they sung to me. Oh, man, I cried.
For your birthday?
No, it was like a mother's thing. And my daughter didn't tell me. She said, oh, Mama, you coming to the show? I show up at the show and she calls me on stage. And I'm like, oh, man, I'm not ready to be going on stage. But they sung her song, Mama.
Oh, Mama.
It's on video. It's on YouTube. And it was beautiful. I cried. I was like, oh, Lord. And my daughter got a chance to sing to me. So, but we backed her together on a television show and on that tour. I was in charge of getting the Tokyo singers. Somebody else got the LA singers, but I was in charge of getting.
How many singers were there total?
I want to say it was 18.
Whoa.
18 singers. So I was in charge of like 8 or 9. We had 9. I was in charge of 8. And then they had like 9. And then
10,
yeah, but a lot of those people are working with Kanye West and just all walks of life, just all kind of famous people coming in, working. And a lot of people, they don't really want that light on them.
They'd rather be in a group.
They want to be comfortable. So, a lot of the people I meet, they don't like the name dropping and stuff.
That's right.
And I try to respect people's privacy because a lot of people say, hey, it's easier to get your job done when people don't know all the people you've worked with.
That's true. I hear what you're saying.
You get treated,
guys, you treat different, yes.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that you're there to do your job and that people are not giving you extra favors and stuff. So a lot of the people that I know and work with, they come from greatness and they're
just very humble and
very humble
and grateful. Yeah.
Oh, Japan is so full of great singers.
Isn't that the truth?
Whoa, I'm in awe of the people I get to work with.
Isn't that the
I
truth?
get to work with some amazing people.
What do you see for the foreseeable future? What is Paula going to do?
I want to just keep singing and working with different artists. I feel like I have a gift to bring certain things out of people that sometimes they don't even know they can do. Or that they, don't realize they do. My student, the last time I taught was Monday, so I'll teach again this week. my student told me, he said he's getting so many good compliments on his singing, now. And I said, thank you, because that lets me know that I'm making a difference.
That's right.
And that's what I want to do. I want to make a difference. I don't want to just perform and have somebody say, good job. I want to do something and have it, mean something and, touch somebody in a way to where it's like, oh, wow, she's giving back.
That's right.
She has a gift, but she's sharing it and she's giving back. She's teaching what I've been taught.
Yeah.
So,
well, your passion shows through. There's no doubt about it, Paula.
I love what I do.
Your passion shows.
I love what I do.
Thank you so much for this time, Paula.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
I want to thank all of you for watching this podcast. Make sure you press like, subscribe, and never forget, it's all unknown. Keep reaching for the stars, and you're too blessed to be stressed.
Amen.
That's what I'm talking about.